Today we're talking about the Akashic Records, who, what, where. Yeah, I'd suggest to get a pen and a bit of paper for this one because there's a lot of information that I've got to get through to tell you all about the Akashic Records. This really is powerful work. I'm going to tell you who's all there in the Akashic Records as well. I absolutely love going to the Akashic Records, and what I do with my students is we take them to the Akashic Records and they get their soul name, the name that would they have received from when they were first created, way, way back. And one of the students actually has now changed her name to her soul name because it was so relevant to her, the soul name. And what we do is we release the vows and the contrast, soul contracts that negatively impact their life. And we take them away when we do the downloads and what. It's amazing. It's amazing seeing the transformations. It really is. It's very good. Does anybody know what the Akashic Records are? To put it simply, the Akashic Records, basically, is a library of vibrational energy. Yeah? And this energy contains information from the past, the present, and the future. Yeah? Basically, once you understand how to access the Akashic Records and interpret the energy, you can find out information about any of these states, past, present, and future. The Akashic Records are available to anyone, any time. And if you're trying to learn the Akashic Records, understand what these records represent. It's an important step to gain an access. And many people attribute records to being similar to God's records of the universe. And why do you need to access the Akashic Records? But before we go there, this is how I see the Akashic Records. This is every time I go in, and people see them differently. Is when I go into the Akashic Records. So basically, what I see, this is what I see when I go to the Akashic Records, or if I go in with anybody else. So, is I see a vast, like a vault, say for instance, like a library, but there is no this. You can't see the top. It's just all books upon book, rows and rows of books. It really is. And so basically, what happens is when I go to the Akashic Records, you've got what can we say? You've got like different teams of people who work in the Akashic Records. You've got the lords who work in the Akashic Records, and they're the highest authority and the safekeepers of the records. Now, they're the first line of defense. Yeah, so they guard and they protect and shield the Akashic Records and the information from lower entities and negative vibrations. If you're going in a really negative vibration and you've maybe got entities attached, you won't be able to access Akashic Records because the Lords will stop you. So they ensure that the records are accessible to us as long as we use the proper protocols to access and read them. Okay? So then you've got the masters. Now, the masters are second in command. Yeah? They're in charge of protecting and guarding individual books within the records. Now, the masters don't necessarily work with us individually, but they ensure that our individual books or records are well maintained, yeah, and easily accessible for us. Now, if you're opening your own record, you might meet a master who helps you locate your book or who delivers to you. Now, I see them as different looking things. Sometimes I can go into the Akashic Records, and sometimes I can see what do you see? I can see all I can describe it is do you know the Challenge Chocolate Factory? Does everybody know Challenge Chocolate? And you have the Umpa, what is it they called? The Umpa Pumpas or whatever. I can never remember what they're called. I see that as them who guard and get the books for you. That's who I see as the Oompa or whatever. Do you know what I'm talking about? That are in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah. The very small, tight, busy beings, I would say. I've also seen beings as if they're from Atlantis in the Akashic Records also. And then you've got the teachers. Now, the teachers work more personally with you. They help you to actually read and interpret the information in your record. Or they work on the behalf of your Akashic Records reader if you're Somebody's getting a professional reading this. Anyway, so the teachers. So the teachers help you perceive, they help you sense and know and understand the information that comes through. Because sometimes when people go into the Akashic Records, they don't understand what they're getting. This is why sometimes you've got to go to a professional or get a professional to show you how to access the Akashic Records. And they also ensure that your readings are accurate and helpful. For example, if you open the records and continue to ask the same question over and over because you don't like the answer you're getting, because sometimes you do that, and I'm bad for that, I have to say, the teachers will step in. They'll close the book. They'll just make you draw a blank. If you keep asking and asking the same question, and if this happens to you, it just means that they're helping you redirect or rephrase the question. Do you understand that, guys, already? Do you get that? Then we've got the loved ones. Yeah. And that's the loved ones of the souls that you once knew. Do you know, your family members, your friends, your partners, whoever, who've crossed over to the other side. Some of them are assigned to work within the Hall of Records, and your particular loved ones work only with you and with the records of other people they knew while they were incarnated. They can further help you understand and interpret the information you see. Because loved ones are especially available to dispel your doubts and your insecurities about your ability to read your records, especially your own records, if you choose to do. Yeah. So that's the Akashic Record team. And sometimes you maybe go in with the intention of asking for a lord or a master or a teacher or a loved one. But sometimes when you go in with that intention, sometimes you don't meet them. It's who you're meant to be for the Akashic. It really is. So you've got the hall or the library. I see it as a library. And I just see the library. There's no roof to it. Do you know how you've got a library to the end of it? This you don't. They just keep going and going. You can't see to the top. Then we've got the except in the library, the kitchen. It's not difficult. I don't find it difficult anyway. And it's really not a privilege. It's really not. You know what I mean? Everybody can do it. Everybody can do it. You've just got to believe you can do it. And the principles of the Akashic Records is love. The Akashic Records are contained and speak to us through the energy of love. They'll never impose themselves on us. The information that comes through is therefore, it'll be non-judgmental. It'll never make us feel afraid, inadequate, insecure, confused, or discouraged. Never will it do that. Helpfulness and hopefulness is the principles as well. And the Akashic Records reading is meant to bring you relief and inner peace and helpfulness and hopefulness to the seeker, you know? Empowerment is another principle of the Akashic Records. And the person who goes in is meant to walk away from the reading with a sense of empowerment and renewed hope and have more choices, you know? And then you've got your current lifetime relevant to it. What's the information that you receive for yourself from the Akashic Records? Must be applicable and useful for your life, your current lifetime. Because as long as you go in the Akashic Records and it doesn't resonate with you in this lifetime. So dwelling on past lifetimes, just for their own sake, is really not advisable. It really isn't. It has to be resonant with what's going on with you in this lifetime now. And always try to use information or at least figure out how it applies to your current lifetime and what you can do with it. Yeah. Because new insights and perspectives are very good for changing those stubborn vows and contracts that we actually live with, those past life issues. And how can you tell if you've got an unfinished past life issue or karma you need to clear? How can you tell that? And also, has it been an issue for you for a very long time? So it's really, if you've had that issue, if you're carrying a vow of poverty or from a past life that's really is stopping you from actually not just bringing money to you, but actually living comfortably. If you've got one of those vows, you need to go and release those vows. If you've got a soul contract that you're meant to live with that vow because you've got a fear. Maybe in a past life you were, I don't know, a witch or something like that. You don't know that, and you were burned at the stake or something like that. You would have a vow of showing your spiritual side. Now, I certainly had that. had such a fear of showing the powerful spiritual side of me because of judging and all the rest of it. But when I let that go, wow, power just rebelled. It just went boom. When something shows up repeatedly, for you'll feel it intensely, and ask yourself if something that keeps occurring for you. Is it intense? Is it difficult or painful emotions? And is it recurred throughout most of your life in different or similar forms, or it causes you tremendous difficulty? Painful emotions and challenging situations that just keep recurring. That's when you know you've got past life stuff going on. And even if your challenge is not rooted in a specific past lifetimes, the Akashic Records will hold powerful and wise and supportive information that can give you clarity and heal you and get you moving forward. And some of the most common reasons that people request the Akashic Records is compulsions of any kinds: food, drink, drugs, gambling, shopping, sex, any addictions, compulsion, and destructive behaviors and personal tendencies like perfectionism, overthinking, anxiety, control issues, fear, guilt, yeah, or inability to leave toxic relationships where you put everyone else above yourself excessively. The caregiver syndrome, as I call it. I used to be really bad for that. I was just to give and to the wrong people, you know? Or you've got a sense that there's more to life than what you're experiencing, but feeling lost about making changes in your career, and also job issues. You the desire to discover what to do for your soul work, but you just don't know where to start. Yeah. We find all that out in the Akashic Records. We really do. So there's contracts and vows, the specific roles and identity. I'm so bad for this caregiver. Yep. Most light workers, empaths, Darcy's, are really bad for overgiving and taking shit. So we just keep taking that shit. We don't know where our boundaries are because we're taking everybody else's energy on. And that's what's happening. So there is specific roles and identities in past lives, and you're often made powerful decisions in your future. And then really going to the Akashic Records can actually change that future from releasing those vows and those contracts. Because these vows become engraved in your DNA, your cellular structure, your personal history. And I'm all for getting right down to where the healing needs to take place. And I believe in doing it at a deep level, not just a surface level. Because when you do it at a surface level, it just keeps coming back, but it keeps coming back stronger. Some of us do these things, we go to these retreats or we do these courses. I've done them, done most of them, absolutely loads. I've traveled the world extensively, 6-figure sum on doing courses to heal myself. And what would happen was it would heal for a little while, but then it would come back with a vengeance, even stronger. I believe in getting right to the source, right to where you need to go, the cause. And this is what I do in the spiritual alchemist stream. We go right to the nuts of it, and really do love that. I really did. So, as I say, it's in that cellular structure, and throughout lifetimes, unless you consciously or intentionally revoke them, you need to revoke them. And the number of vows that you could have. Hi, Sharon, how are you doing? I'm not understanding the word you're using for the topic. Memory, what word do you, is it the Akashic? Is it the Akashic Records you're not understanding? Always 100%, empathy, very sensitive. So basically, the number of vows you could have made it is infinite, including vows to block creativity, shut down your intuition, or self-punishment, to bad jobs or unhealthy relationships, to limitations of time and money, and to protecting and helping everyone else before yourself. You know? These vows are archived in your personal Akashic records. Now, when I go to the Akashic record, this is what I see. As I said to you, I see a big library. It's like just rows and rows of, it's like ancient books. And there's always like a huge, the topic, can you spell it? A, K, A, S, A-K-I-C, Akashic. Yeah. And what I see is that's for memory, by the way. I'm just to explain what the Akashic is. Basically, what I see when I do that is I actually see the library, but it's rows. I mean, it's vast, it's massive. And I see these ladders going, it's like they're going up to infinity, it's going up to source. And there's all these, like the Oompa Loompas, what I'm talking about. That's not them, but that's what I can only describe it as. And I see that. And what I'll see is a big, huge table. And the book, your soul book, your records, basically. Excuse me, your records. And actually, it'll be open at the page that it needs to be open for you at this time. Because you can go into the Akashic Records as many times as you wish. Yeah. And what actually happens is sometimes it's not even in a language that you would understand. Yes, because you can see it could be in scrolls, it can be books. There's so many different ways that you could be shown, and everybody is different. It's not always the same way. Everybody sees the Akashic Records different. And sometimes as well as when you go in, there's maybe just a word written on you that you need to know, or you don't understand the language because it's way, way back to when you first were created. So they're big books and they're really, I've never written in the Akashic Records where I've never got anything for anybody. Yes, but but don't, just because something's difficult, it's like a muscle. Think of a muscle. And the more you use that muscle, the better it becomes. So just because you've went and tried it a few times and you've not been able to get there, maybe you need to get someone like me who can show you how to do that, or somebody that would, I try to, but I don't get it. Okay. Have you tried hypnotherapy to get you there then? Have you tried that move? Because that is very good for allowing you to go. And just for me to explain you how to do it would take far too long. Hence why I have a course that shows you and explains it all to you. Yeah. So basically, what basically happens is if you've got, say, blocks in there or vows to limitations of time and money or protecting and helping everyone else before yourself, these vows are archived in your personal Akashic record. So the access your information allows you to become conscious of the contracts that you've made. Yeah? And you can then revoke those contracts with a specific protocol and fire ritual. Yeah. And you can deliberately create new vows also that speak clearly, okay? And you can deliberately create new vows that liberate you from the burdens of old vows. So new contracts are much more freeing and expansive because they're intentional, you know? So for instance, for someone with an old vow of poverty, a new contract could be I choose to open up to receive all the abundance the universe has for me now and forevermore. Now, you've made contracts with your parents, if you've got kids, you've made it with the children, your friends, your boss, and everyone else who's ever been in your life. And if any of these relationships isn't working in a healthy and balanced way, investigate whether you have a contract with that person and what kind of contract it is. You can then release or change the contract intentionally to shift the relationship. Let's see what we've got. Oompa Loompas, that's it. I knew I was close there. How do I know what one is for me? Through meditation, yeah, hypnosis meditation, you can do it. Also, as well, I think there's some YouTube videos that would probably show you how to access the Akashic Records also. Yeah. So maybe you just need to be guided and do that. Yeah. So how do you read your Akashic Records? You know? So you really don't require, it doesn't require you to, sorry, I'm getting too many messages here that's come ping here. I'm not sure what. So reading your own Akashic Records doesn't require you to access the whole of the Akashic Records, where all the Akashic Records are stored. Because you carry the energetic copy of your own Akashic record. They're in your vibration. So reading your own Akashic records is not difficult. but there's some prerequisites that you need. And one is the ability to get into a meditative state. If you have problems trying to get in a meditative state, you could have problems accessing your Akashic record. So while the regular intuition can come in a casual way, reading the Akashic records, it does take a wee bit more focus, you know? And you need to be able to set aside your current thoughts and be open to whatever information you can find there. And the other prerequisite, I can never say that word, and I'm just thinking, is the willingness to reveal and accept whatever it is that's recorded about yourself. Because sometimes you could receive disturbing information, such as the way you died in one of your past lives or some serious problems that bothered you for a long time back then, and how you yourself contributed to that problem. We don't like to hear that. We don't like to go to that dark place where we hide from everyone. You're talking about the Akashic records. What did you ask me? How do I know what one is from you? Because it'll be your book that'll be there. If you're going in for yourself, with the intention for yourself. So in your daily life, if you tend to avoid problems or neglect challenges, like how can you face such information when you read your Akashic record? If you can't look at them in this life, you're definitely not going to look at it in the Akashic records. You're going to disregard it. They say there are guardians who must ask them to read. Is that true? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I've spoke about that earlier more. So you've got the records team as the lords, the masters, the teachers, and the loved ones. You have your guardians there and amongst them. Really, you've got to be quite compassionate and understanding about yourself and about history, because it's also knowing history is also helpful to make that reading quite meaningful for you. For example, let's say you find you were a slave driver in the past life, right? And if you think this is a horrible one and close your heart, the reading ends there. But being a slave driver, however, doesn't automatically mean you were a mean or cruel person. Maybe you tried to treat them as kindly and fairly as possible. But because you were only the middle management, but not the owner, there wasn't much that you could do. Perhaps the dilemma is the reason why you feel hesitant to accept a promotion to a management position now. And you're afraid of getting into the same kind of dilemma. So it's amazing how they really, what goes on, what you get from the Akashic records and what the relevance of it is to this life. And I always start with a ritual. I always start with the intention before I go in. As I go into a meditative state or take my client in hypnosis or a meditative state. And I actually, what we do is we then take them on a guided meditation. Most says, maybe if we ask them to help us to go to the Akashic, maybe they can help us. Yes, totally. You don't ask, you don't get. I'm a great believer in ask, believe and receive, and you'll get. They're just, I just find them very powerful. They really do. They can be very transformational, especially when you are releasing those contracts, those soul contracts, and those vows. Yeah, totally. And also, you can go there, as I said, to go and get your soul name of when you were first created. And I absolutely love them. I really do. And I have a lot of fun there. Any questions, guys? Any questions about the Akashic records and about what we spoke about today? That was the first time I've heard of it. Yeah, you get your soul name, and it's very resonant of when you get to it as well. But you can also access YouTube videos. They can actually help you go to the Akashic records. Also, try them first. You know, really try them. I'm all for really just trying loads of modalities to do it. And after this process, we'll look at the powerful Egyptian symbols, and you're attuned to the symbols, and you have a deep knowledge and knowing of your soul's purpose, because we look at your soul's mission. What is your soul's mission and how you can manifest that? And you're actually taken to the Pleiadians to manifest your dream life and look at that soul mission of what you're actually here for, you know? And it's a powerful process that. Now, the very first time I did it was another course when I kept getting all these downloads. I actually got downloaded with the Arcturians. And basically, I wanted to do it. And a few of you have heard this. I just love telling the story. I wanted to get a Mac computer. And I know that specifically what I wanted, a brand new Mac. I wanted to come with these. And I didn't want to even think about it. And so I thought, I better do this download. I recorded it and I thought, I better listen to this download. So as I'm listening to the download, I conked out. I was gone. And I came back and I went, that was a load of crap. Christ, I've got to give that to people who are on this course tonight for a live call I was doing. And this was a few years ago, or last year. Was it last year, 2 years ago? I can't remember. Anyway, so I'm thinking, this is a load of crap. Doesn't work. Anyway, it's a phone call 10 minutes later. And within that phone call 10 minutes later, I manifested that computer. It blew me away. Absolutely blew me away. Other people manifested new jobs, £20,000 increases. They've got money from nowhere, thousands of pounds, publishing deals. People had lottery wins. They had better relationships with their children. New twin flame relationships came in. People had international jobs that they only dreamed about that came to them. People's work got published in international magazines. There were people with brand new cars and lots of new clients, and they felt empowered to live the life they only dreamed about. It really was. And so these are the techniques we used in there also. Yeah. And somebody actually manifested on the course £58 million. That's how powerful it is. It really is. So what to expect from this course is to have really a life force energy restoration, the body and energy rebalancing, transforms depression, anxiety, low energy, dark energy into love, health and vitality. And as I say, it removes curses, hexes, entities, dark energy. It energizes the mind, the body and the spirit. And it clears any negative karma. Yeah. And removing obviously those vows that we've made, and restores other vows, put other ones in place. And it's a powerful manifestation, it really is. And you'll also feel that what I find is happening is the actual, it's not just the person taking the course. And this just blows my mind away. It's actually the people around them, the close ones, the relationships with them absolutely becoming so peaceful, so contented, that the people around them are actually becoming more happier, more joyful. They're living their life in a better way. It blew my mind away. Absolutely blew my mind away. How do we manifest this? You can actually just chat away to me, send me a message, private message, and obviously I will speak to you, because at the end of the day, the way that the earth is ascending, people are looking to ascend. They're looking for that better life. They're looking for those things that are working, that is transforming that negative things or patterns that's going around in their lives. And this certainly does it. And the good thing about it is you have a group, private group, that actually is in there, that has been through it, and they know what you should expect, and I'm there to give you that powerful connection and what have you in there as well. Because every week you'll get downloads. There'll be downloads going on, and it's just really what I get for the downloads to take place. Yeah, so it's great. It's absolutely lovely. The students absolutely love it, so they do. Yeah. So thank you. No, thank you all, guys. It's really good to speak to you. And hopefully you were able to understand me a wee bit better. Speak to you later, guys. Bye-bye.